Hey guys, so today I'm coming at you with one of my very own patterns. I designed this. I think it's wonderful and I just want to show you how to do it. So this will hold a 16.9 water bottle, or it'll hold a 20-ounce like soda bottle. That's, you know, so it's just a regular water bottle. These are really great. These are really, I designed this pattern out of necessity. My husband loves them and has requested for me to make 11 of them for his friends for Christmas. So these are some of his that I think I've got 3 already made for his friends for Christmas, friends and family for Christmas gifts. So what it is I have used ottertex waterproof canvas on the outside. I've used ottertex waterproof canvas on the inside. And this top piece here is just a piece of contrasting fabric. It's just straight woven fabric with no interfacing on it. It's just a piece of fabric. So you need a toggle, you'll need string, and I use this from Hobby Lobby. It is in the fabric department. In my Hobby Lobby, the ribbons and all that are behind the cutting table, and this is where I found this. It is 4 yards come on this for $2.99, and I got this 40% off because I waited till they had it on sale. It is called bolo cord. I don't know if you can see it there, bolo cord, and it's kind of a nylon-y, like it's coated in nylon. I don't know, it's getting my face. It's not going to show you. There we go. So it's kind of a nylon cord. That's what I like. I use it. You can use the white cording like for hell, you could use a shoelace for all that matters. Just whatever you can use that fits in your toggle that you get. You know, any kind of cord. This is just the kind I like. It's strong and works good for me. You'll need, this is seatbelt webbing, and this is 1-inch seatbelt webbing, and I get it on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description below. This is a parachute clip, you know, just one of these little quick connect parachute clips that I also got on Amazon, and I ordered like 20 of them for, I want to say it was like $8 or $9. It wasn't much at all, and I got like 20 of these off of Amazon. And if I can find that, I'll put it in the link in the description as well. Now these, I used rivets. You don't have to use rivets. You can sew this across on your sewing machine. So if you don't have a rivet press, or, you know, access to rivets or anything like that, you can just sew this down. You don't have to put rivets here. Okay, and that's it. That's all I've used. It has a layer of excuse me, I don't think I said this, a layer of bag foam, and I use the one-sided. Let me see, I think I got a brand new package of it. Oh, I do, right here. One sec. Well, it's not a brand new package, but it's the package that I took this out of. It is one-sided fusible Pelon style foam. This is what I used in it. Sorry, my dogs had a fit. Somebody drove by. So this is what I put in it, and this is going to keep it cooler. That's going to, you know, it's going to keep it cool for you. No, I mean, it's not going to keep it like ice cold forever, but it will help keep your drink cooler. I did think about, because of the condensation, and I don't know how I can figure this out now that I'm thinking about it. Thought about putting like a grommet in the bottom for the water to drip out of, but I don't know how to set the grommet in there once it's made through all layers, because you'll see in a minute you have to sew the layers separately and then put them together. So I don't know how you would put a grommet through the bottom through all the layers. I'm gonna have to rethink that one. I'll do some thinking on that. But this is really fun. I really like it for people who hunt and do a lot of scouting, which my husband does, so that's why he likes to take his with him. People who walk the track a lot, people who run, jog, hike, bird watch. You know, if you're just going hiking trails, these are really good for you, so you don't have to hold them. They just go around your waist and buckle in. They'll also go through your belt loops if you want, because they're 1 inch. I believe you can get these parachute clamps in 1.5 inch if you want this to be a little wider, but it really doesn't need to be any wider. And you can get I think you can get up to 2 inches if you want, but I'm not sure if you can get these parachute clamps in 2 inches. But I know they got 1 inch ones because I bought these in a big pack on Amazon, and I want to say there was maybe 15 or 18 or even 20. I'm not sure, but I will look it up and I will post it in the description for real cheap on Amazon. And then the seatbelt webbing, I think you get like 14 or 15, maybe it's 14 yards of the seatbelt webbing, again on Amazon for cheap, like $13-14. So, and it's really sturdy. You can see it's nylon. It's just like the seatbelt in your car. It's just not as wide, because I think the seatbelt in your car is like 2.5 inches. This is just 1 inch. This is my pattern, and I don't know, I don't know how I can get it to you. You can tell this is my pattern. This is a well-loved, well-used pattern. And I will tell you the dimensions if you'd like to know. So from, let me lay it on my board here straight. Okay, so I got it lined up, and it is 16 and 7/8 long by 6 wide. So it's 6 inches wide this way and 16 and 7/8 this way. And I have cut out for my box bottoms, I have done 1 1/4 inch. It's 1 1/4 inch up, and it's 1 3/4 wide. So this one right here is 1 3/4, and these are 1 1/4. So that's what this piece is. And this is what you're going to use for the outside and the inside piece. So I've got waterproof canvas on the outside. Again, I've used ottertex waterproof canvas, and I get that on Amazon. I will leave a link. On the inside, I have black ottertex waterproof canvas, and on the top I just have a piece of plain contrasting fabric. No interfacing. If it gets wet from the condensation, it'll dry. It's just a little piece of fabric for the top, and really it's just going to cover about this much of your water bottle, so it's not going to get a whole lot of condensation by the time you drink 2 swallers out of it. So I did do this part in the very first one I did this part in the waterproof canvas, and I don't know if you've done much with the waterproof canvas, but it's stiffer, and it didn't want to cinch up. I didn't like the way it looked. It was bulky. It didn't cinch up well. So there's that. This is sewn on double reinforced, so around this piece of, see, I don't know if you can see, I got a black piece of waterproof canvas, and then my label. So I've sewn around the outside of this, and then sewed around the inside of my label. So this is double sewn on. It's not going anywhere. It's very, very secure. Very, very secure. I got to figure out how to put a grommet in that. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so this one is 16 and 7/8 by 6 inches. And again, this one is 1 inch and 3/4. This one here, and this is it may be 1 2 3. Okay, so maybe this one is 1 3/8 on the sides here. 1 3/8 by 1 3/4. That's what I'm going to say. So this is the inside and the outside piece and the foam piece. If you have a domestic machine, I suggest cutting your foam piece about 1/4 of an inch smaller on all sides, and then just center it on your piece of ottertex and iron it on. And I put mine on the outside fabric, not the inside fabric. I don't guess it matters. You know, it might matter because you have to sew the hole in the lining, because we have to turn it through the lining. So I would put it on the outside fabric. Okay, so this is what I have like just hand wrote on here. So these are the instructions. You need 1 piece outside, 1 piece lining, and 1 piece of the foam. Okay, I need to redraw my template because it's been well up. This piece is this top like cinch piece, and it is, let's open it up. One, two, three. It's 3 3/4 tall this way, and it is 11 inches long. Excuse me, 3 3/4 tall, 11 inches long. And this is my instructions on it. So what it says is you need 1 piece of just your lining fabric or contrasting fabric or whatever. So you're going to first measure down, and you'll see me make it in a little bit, but just for me to explain it to you now, you'll need to measure down on this. You'll fold it in half like this, measure down 1 5/8 inches, make a line, and you're not going to sew this top part. So you're going to start at your line and sew down and leaving this top part open. And then we're going to open it and kind of sew them down that way. And you'll see me do that, and I'll explain it to it when I get that when we get that part in the pattern. And then you're going to measure down 3/8. So you're going to lay it down here, and you're going to measure down 3/8 and fold it. Okay, and then you're going to measure down 5/8 from your 3/8 line. And what that's going to do is it's going to make our little channel here for your cording to go through. Okay? So that's what the instructions are for that. And again, it is 1, 2, 3, 3 3/4 by 11 inches exactly. I wish I knew how to make a PDF. I would get this and just put it in the link, but this is what the sizes are. Again, mine's well loved, and I need to draw me another one, but this is the size for it. I did do one, let me show you, also for a Gatorade bottle, and this one is for the 28-ounce Gatorade bottle. It's wider and thicker. It does the same thing. It's just bigger. Let's see here. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches tall. So this way it's 7 inches. It is 14 inches exactly this way. And then it's 2 inches here and 1.5 inches here. So 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and then the numbers I just said to you, I don't remember what they were. This one is the same thing. We're going to do, we're going to open it up. It's just a little longer, same concept. It is, let me get it up here. $13.25 long, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4 inches tall. And it's the same measurements. You do 1 5/8 down, and then do 3/8 and then 5/8. These are for the 28. This is just my measurement. So all I did was measure around the Gatorade bottle and the height of the Gatorade bottle, and I allowed some for the thickness of the foam, some for the thickness of the waterproof canvas, some for the thickness of, I'm sorry, for both layers of the waterproof canvas, the layer of foam, and then the seam allowance, which is 1/4 inch. I sew all this with 1/4 inch except for my top stitching, and I do that at 1/8 inch. but you'll see that in the video. But this is, I hope you make some of these, and I'd love for you to post pictures or whatever. Let me know you made it. These are really handy. Like I said, this is for the 28-ounce Gatorade bottle. It's just what my husband's friend preferred to drink. This was the bottle. It was an empty bottle that he had already drank. He handed it to me and said, hey, I'd like to have a water bottle holder to fit this. So I did my measurements, and I just, like I said, left enough for the thickness of the foam and the steam allowance, which is, like I said, 1/4 inch. So that's the one for the 28-ounce. But what we're going to make today is just the water bottle holder one. So I'm going to get my pieces cut out, and I will meet you at the machine. Alright, so what I'm using is Tex 70 thread, and I'm just going to get everything ready. I have all my pieces cut out, and I'm going to thread my machine real quick. Okay. So I have all my pieces. I have my exterior, and I have my foam already fused to it. A little tip with the foam and the ottertex waterproof canvas: if you hit the back of this with your iron, it will melt. So always press it from the top, because the coating that they put on the back of this, see, it's plasticky, and it will melt, but you can press it from the front. And I have the foam already fused to this piece, and I have my back piece, and I have the top little cinch piece. And on this piece, I've already measured down. I don't know if you can see it or not. I've already measured down 1 5/8, and I made a little mark here. So I'm going to start at this mark, and I'm going to sew down where I have it clipped at with 1/4 inch. And I'm going to use a 2.5 stitch length. And I'm going to sew to the end, and I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and the end. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this seam up all the way. Oh, something's wrong. Let me check that. That's right. That's right. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Let me sew that again. I got loops on my bobbin. That's much better. Okay. I do have a trash can right here beside me, so that's why I'm just raking everything in the trash can. So what I'm going to do is take this seam, and I'm going to open it up completely all the way. Even the part that I didn't sew, we're going to sew it down, top stitch it down opened. You want that little opening there, because that's going to be your hole to put your cording through. I'm just going to top stitch it all the way down just like this. So see, I've opened that seam up all the way to the top, and I'm going to turn it inside out, and I'm going to start. I'm going to start on one side. I'm going to sew down to the end here. I'm going to come across, and I'm going to sew back up this other side. And I'm going to do this on a number 4 stitch. Back stitching at the beginning and the end. And we'll go to the end here. I'm going to sew across to that seam at the bottom. You can break thread if you want to. I just don't like breaking thread. I'll sew across one stitch, and I'm going to come up this next side, top stitching everything down. So that's what it looks like from the outside, and that's what it looks like from the inside. The seams are sewed down all the way, and we have our opening, and they're top stitched down. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it inside out. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to measure down my 3/8. Got my little Choco pin here. I'll measure down 3/8. I'm going to draw a line. This is easier if you take it to the iron, but I'm not getting up. I'm just going to show you here how I kind of wing it. And I'm going to take it and fold it down on that line all the way. And I'm just going to run my fingernail there, and it's going to, you know, finger press it on this line. Okay, so there's the 3/8, and it's pressed down. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see, on both sides. Now I'm going to measure down 5/8. I'm going to draw another line. Try to keep it folded. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold it down on that line, and I'm going to press it with my finger. I'm going to try to keep it the best I folded the best I can. I don't have to get up. Okay, there we go. So I have it folded 3/8, and then I have it 5/8. So we have this little fold here. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to sew all the way around this whole thing, closing it up. I will tell you it's easier to do this inside out. I'm going to start here at the beginning and the end where my holes are, and I'm going to do this on a 4 stitch length. Back stitching at the beginning and the end. Just sew straight across that opening. There we go. Fold it to get in your fingers if you need to. There we go. Back stitch at the end. When you back stitch, you don't have the crazy back stitch. You can just back stitch 1 or 2 stitches is plenty. Okay, so I've top stitched all the way around there. Still have my opening, and I have 2 little holes here, one on either side for us to feed that cord through. Okay, so there's that piece finished for now. So we're going to set that aside. I'm going to take the lining piece and I'm going to clip it together. This is so fast, guys. Like, we're almost through. Okay, flip both sides. So I'm going to sew down both sides of this, and I'm going to leave an opening on one side for us to turn it through. And you want a pretty good size opening. I'm going to say around 2.5 or 3 inches. Okay, and I'm going to sew this on a 2.5. Back stitching at the beginning and the end. And then I'm going to stop there. I'm going to back stitch. And then I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to sew the end part at 1/4 inch. And this whole side I'm going to sew from top to bottom. Okay, easy peasy. Now I'm going to box this corner, so I'm just going to open this corner out. I'm going to line my seam up in the middle of my bottom, just like this. I'm going to sew 1/4 inch. I'll go ahead and do both sides as we're doing. That's what I got. And I'm going to sew both sides as we're going. So I'm going to sew this with 1/4 inch. And I got it on a 2.5. So there's my hole, pretty good size hole. There's the outside, the base, the bottom. Okay, so there's the lining. I'll do the same thing with this exterior piece, except for I'm going to sew down both sides, and I'm not going to leave a hole in these. Quarter of an inch. There we go. You've not ever done much with foam, you want to sew slow because you've got lots of layers there. You don't want to break a needle, you don't want to break a thread. And do the same thing. I'm going to box this bottom just like we boxed the others. I'll stick my finger in the hole and pull it out flat. Put your seam in the middle of the bottom. I just kind of push it to one side. You can open it if you want to. I don't think it much matters. By the time you line the bottom, this one up with this one, I don't think it's going to matter. So I'm going to line that up in the middle. And the bottoms. This is what I got. Now I'm going to do 1/4 inch down both of these. Well, that's what we got. So I'm going to turn this one right side out. I'm going to leave this one inside out. Cook out your corners good, make everything pretty. Okay, that's what we got so far. Oh, let me stop for a minute, guys. I got to undo this because I forgot to put my label and my seatbelt webbing on. So I'll be right back. So I probably made it 5 times harder on me than I needs to be, but I'm going to sew my label onto this waterproof canvas. I'll just kind of try to center it a little bit. I like to pull mine to the back so that you don't see my starts and stops. So that's what I'm going to do. Just pull these through. And then this one. Goes here. Which one are you? Yeah. It's in there. I can't pull it, so I'm just going to knot these 3 and trim it off. And I'm going to melt that down when I get there. Oh, I dropped it on the floor. Alright, so I probably made this part 3 times too harder for me by going ahead and sewing it, but I did take it off. Alright, so I went, I left my ruler up there. Oh, here's one. I went 1.5 inches down. Oh, my waterproof canvas piece that I sewed my tag on is 2 inch by 2 inch. So I'm going to go 1.5 inches down, and I'm going to center it, and I'm going to put my stitch length on a 4. That's on a 4. And I'm going to sew straight across the top, back stitching at the beginning. The top is all I'm going to sew across. And then I'm going to pivot, okay? I'm going to take my seatbelt webbing, and I'm going to go kind of from my belly button to my hip, and that's where I'm going to put up under here. It's just it's an official measurement term there, from your belly button to your hip. And I'm going to sew across down to the bottom, and I'm going to pivot. I'm going to sew across the bottom, I'm going to pivot, and I'm going to sew up this side here, and I'm going to back stitch. Now I'm going to do it again, except for I'm going to go right on the outside of my label. And this is just going to double reinforce it. Okay, so this is all I'm doing. I'm going to go across and over, just so you've sewn over your label, your seatbelt webbing twice, just to double enforce it. I'm going to back stitch at the end. Okay. All right. I'm going to trim my tails. Here's my thread. Okay. So, back to where we were. Now we're going to sew up the side here, and I'm just going to start where I finished sewing, and I'm going to back stitch. And I'm going to sew down, making sure that I don't catch any of your seatbelt webbing in your seam. Alright, back to where we were. Now I'm going to turn this. Now I'm going to turn this one right side out. Go, poke out your corners. There we go. So that's what I just sewed on, and that sewed our webbing onto the baggie. It's easier if you do it before you sew the sides up, but you know, I had to do some roping. So with this right side out and this wrong side out, and I'm going to put the folded part, that 3/8 and the 5/8 part that we just made, that channel, I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to put the raw edges up with the raw edges of this. There we go. I'm going to line my seam up with the seam. If you want to open that seam up, you can, to reduce bulk. And you're just going to go all the way around with it. If at any time that it gets to where you don't think it's going to fit because of the wave, you just straighten it. See, because it's a curve, so if you just straighten it, it'll fit. And just straighten it as you go around and clip it, it will fit. Okay, so I'm going to clip it on this side, pull it, straighten it. Now I'm going to just baste this on, and I'm going to baste, hold on, I'm going to baste at 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to do it on a 4. So, see, that's what we have. These are my folds down here. This is the raw edge up here. This piece is inside out. This piece is right side out, so it's right side to right side. And I'm just going to baste around this at 1/8 of an inch. Just enough to catch it. You just, nobody's going to see this. You just don't want to go your 1/4 of an inch, because when you sew these pieces together, you're going to do it at 1/4 of an inch, and you don't want your seams to be seen. I'm just going to baste this on, making sure I'm catching all the layers. Go. So I have that basted on, 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So now we're going to put these two together. So I'm going to go in my hole, and I'm going to go ahead and pull my seatbelt webbing through the hole. So I'm going to come through here and pull it out the hole, both sides, just to get it out of the way so I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going in the top part and coming out of the hole. Okay? And then I'm going to stick this in with it. Hang on just 1 second. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so now we're just going to line up our seams, stick it in here, line up our seams. Push one seam one way, one seam the other way, and clip, and then come to the other side. Pull everything out of the hole you need to. Get it all twisted around. One seam one way, one seam the other way, and clip, and then clip all the way around here and sew with 1/4 inch. Quarter of an inch, and I'm going to do that on the 2.5. Back stitching at the beginning and the end. Okay, have it sewn all the way around, 1/4 inch. Now we're going to turn it. Pull it through this little hole and berth it. All the way. So before we go any further, let's close our hole here. So just fold in 1/4 inch on both sides. Just like this. And we're going to sew from here to here, closing the hole. Back stitching at the beginning and the end. Make sure you caught both sides. Always do a little pull, make sure everything's good and caught. That's the seam I just sewn. Now push this one in. I was just barking on a chicken. This part is a little bit tricky because you got to get it down in there. Which I guess you could use a bottle of water. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Push it down in there. There we go. That worked. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold everything inside. Oh, sorry. We're going to pull everything out good here. See how I'm pulling on this to pull it out, and then we're just going to fold everything to the inside and clip it. And that's just going to give us an extra little look, and we're going to top stitch it and we'll be done sewing. That was really quick, wasn't it? Quick little project. You could do 2 or 3 of these and probably the same time you could do one of them. You just chain piece them right behind each other. Really quick. So I folded everything down. Now I'm going to do 1/8 of an inch on a 4 all the way around. I'm going to go slow because you're going through some layers. You have 2 layers of ottertex outside, 2 layers of ottertex inside, a layer of foam, 2 layers of fabric. That's a lot. So take your time, go slow around here. It's just a little circle. Look at there. And we're through sewing, so let's go to the counter and let's finish putting on the buckle and feed our thing through. Sorry guys, I thought I was recording. So I took my safety pin and I pinned it on the end of my cording. My cording is 18 inches long, and I run it through, and then I melted the ends of them so that I could put them through my toggle that I get at Hobby Lobby. They're 4 in a pack for $1.99. I'm going to put them together and feed them through my toggle. There we go. Cinch it closed, and then I'm going to make them level, and I'm going to tie them in a knot real close to the end. And because this is that plasticky nylon coated cording, I'm just going to kind of heat it up and melt them together just so it doesn't come undone. Just like that. Okay? So there's the top done, the toggle. How cute is that? I think it's the cutest thing. There we go. So they just cinch up just like that. So for our parachute clamp, I have a set of 2 rivets. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. I have a set of 2 rivets right here. Where you at? There you are. So there's 2 males and 2 female ends right here. And then I have my parachute clamp. And I went back and looked on my Amazon account. These come in a pack of 30 for $9.99. They have, they have colored ones, different colored ones. 40 of them come in a pack for $11.99. So really cheap. Okay, see the pack I got? There's still like 21 of them still in here. That's why I counted them, and I'm like, I don't see them right. So I went back and looked at my orders. These come in a pack of 30. Little parachute clamps. Whoa, where'd my end go? What am I missing? I dropped one of these in, so let me get another one. Okay, 2 males, 2 females. That's what you need. I don't know if you can see these good or not. Let me put them on my hand. 2 males, 2 females. See the little male parts stick up? The little female parts have holes. Okay? So I'm going to take this end, the shorter end of it, and I'm going to go through the parachute clamp, making sure it's not twisted. And I'm going to go from the top down. I'm going to fold it under about, $1/2 inch. I'm going to do it just like that, and I'm going to clamp it with 2 clips, 1 on each side. Okay, there we go. I'm going to get my hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole in these and put my rivets in. Just kind of really eyeball these. They don't have to be perfect. And I'm going to stick my rivet through, all the way through. That was the male end that stuck through, and I'm going to take my female end and pop it on the back. There we go. And before I set them, I'm going to go ahead and make the other one. Just kind of making sure it's lined up. There we go. I'll set that one. Push the male end through. Oop, I popped the back off of the other one because I didn't set it good. There we go. So I'm going to take the female end and put it on this one. Take my rivet press, and I'm going to press them down and set them. Just press. And they are on there good. They're not coming off. They're on there real good. Okay? So then the other end is fairly simple. We're going to take the other end, making sure there's no twists or turns in here. You're going to go up the inside, through, and then add down the outside. Now when it comes to not knowing someone's size, I err on the side of caution, and I go bigger. It can always be cut down. So if you cut it, take your lighter, and because it frays really bad. So if you take your lighter and in the blue part of the flame, just melt this down really, really good after it's cut, and it won't fray. There we go. And that's it, guys. Just that easy, simple, and a great little gift. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.